This is Trojan News.
Welcome to Trojan News. I'm Erin. And I'm Samantha. We'll be your hosts for today.
Now, let's sprint into our first story with journalist Mary Minna as she looks into the start of this year's new track season.
As the snow melts and spring rolls in, WH's track coaches are getting their team ready for this year's season. Jessica Hogan expresses her feelings for this year's team and the complications they've had with the weather.
The start of the season has been great. We have a lot of kids out for track, which is awesome. The only downfall is, of course, Mother Nature is, keeping us inside a lot and keeping us in the cold. But we've been making do with the best that we can, and the kids' attitudes have been awesome.
Though the weather has been getting in the way of the practice, attitude is all that matters on this team.
Well, there's a lot of snow still on the ground, but as it's warming up now, and the kids have been coming with a positive attitude and working really hard, so it's been really enjoyable.
We get ready for meets by working out hard every day, and then we start to specialize in what they're kind of interested in and what they're good at, and then we kind of work on that toward as the season goes along.
We do sprint work, we do long runs, we try to prepare them as best as humanly possible.
The coaches aren't the only ones pushing the runners. Michaeli Walu, a senior runner, encourages his underclassmen.
Yeah, usually we try to motivate them and get them to go on runs with the older guys and get them to be more outgoing and be able to talk to the other guys and just get them up to speed.
While Cassie is a freshman here at WHS, she is not a stranger to track. She ran track in middle school.
I really enjoy running and competing, and it's a good way for me to get my competitive spirit out.
Cassie enjoys track because of the fitness opportunities it provides.
Like I said, we do a lot of different things, so it's good for working up stamina and just getting better overall instead of just in one area.
So far, the team has been working very hard this season, and their next meet is on the 25th in Marshall. We hope they put their best foot forward and go the distance. This has been Mary Minna for Trojan News.
Wow, the track team and coaches have such a positive and encouraging attitude, even with such a crummy and cold start to their season. Good luck at your next meet. The robotics team prepared for their competition in March, and their hard work led to a spectacular season with a lot of success. Here's Madison Eink with the story.
Students in the robotics team at WHS competed in the first 10,000 Lakes Regional, which was their latest competition in Minneapolis, from March 30th to April 1st. Robotics takes a lot of dedication and hard work to build an effective robot. With this hard work comes challenges.
The robotics team spent around 12 weeks building, programming, and practicing for the competition. The game involved stacking cones, cubes, and finally balancing on a platform. Based on this knowledge, the robot's design is decided. Mr. Morales, the co-mentor of the robotics team, speaks more on the designs process.
Well, the design, I have little decision on it. A lot of it is students. Students come up with the idea. The decision is strongly made from the pre-game. Like we have the kickoff day, we all sit down, we watch the game being released. And as soon as the game comes out, the students are distributed in different groups, and they come up with an idea of do we want the robot to do, and how do we want to do it. And from there, we cohesively get into that design that a lot of the times, everybody end up agreeing in what we need to do with the robot.
Connor Henning speaks on his experience in the club.
We usually have a meeting and sit through that meeting and study the game elements. So once we kind of collectively decide on what we want the robot to be and what we want it to look like.
Mr. Morales talks on the team's strategy for this year.
And our game strategy is usually to try to adapt to the situation. So we're going to try to accumulate as many points as we can in the easier way. So we do that mathematic between like what will get us the most points. But when our robot encounters issues, then we adapt. And we're like, okay, we're going to go from this strategy to plan B. So we try to always have that plan B. This year's was, let's get defensive, because we couldn't use our arm at some point.
JJ Mee, one of the team's coders and a WHS sophomore, shares some of the challenges they were faced with.
And I can definitely voucher that programming has been difficult. It has been difficult for us this year, mainly because there's two programmers on the team, and we're pretty new to the language. Java is what we use, and we're pretty new to that language.
Mr. Hansen, the team's mentor, shares his thoughts on how the season went this year.
I think this season has been very productive. Everybody learned something. And I look forward to competition because it's going to be a lot of fun and even more educational.
Robotics members share their personal experience as an active member of the club.
I really like the amount of new things that we get to learn here. I've never known how to use a cold saw before, and that's a cool skill for me to learn.
A lot of things, building this cool device that you watch get built up from the ground is very cool, and working on it yourself is also very intriguing.
In the end, the team finished in 31st place, which is a major improvement from last year. They sure lived up to their slogan, Be Better. This has been Maddie for Trojan News.
Wow, I love silly little robots doing silly little things. Congratulations to the robotics team for an astonishing robotic year. Lately, there has been a big buzz around the TikTok app. The government has been discussing banning the platform. Trojan News journalist Ruby Lopez-Tema has more on how the ban might affect WHS.
Right now, the government is discussing banning TikTok due to security and privacy issues connected to the parent organization, ByteDance. Many students of WHS use TikTok daily and would potentially be affected by this ban.
The government is considering banning TikTok because of its link with China and the United States. The TikTok ban in the U.S. is largely led by Republican lawmakers in Congress who are concerned TikTok, which is also known as ByteDance in China, could be using user data to track browsing history and location and potentially drive misinformation efforts. This would mean ByteDance, a Chinese technology company, would have personal information on U.S. citizens unknowingly. The TikTok ban is currently happening, and at this time, there isn't an exact date of when the ban will be voted on to be put into place.
While there hasn't been a decision made about whether or not the app will be banned yet, many at WHS are thinking about it. What would it mean for staff and students if TikTok was banned?
Mr. Morales, a WHS science teacher, thinks that TikTok will get banned.
I think it will get banned for probably breaching privacy. If they're collecting information from people that they should not be collecting, that should be a reason to ban it. If they are doing things that may seem unjust to certain groups, then I will see that as a possible reason for banning.
Mr. Morales admits that TikTok is a very addictive app for him.
I don't know. I'm torn about TikTok because TikTok is a thing that feels very addictive. Like you just watch one and you need to keep watching them.
Ms. Greenaway, a WHS English teacher, has strong opinions against TikTok. She shares her background knowledge and her thoughts on the TikTok ban that is going on.
What I understand is that when you get TikTok, you download it, you have to provide some login information or something. And then that information is then potentially used by maybe dishonest organizations. So they want to protect people's privacy and their data.
Even though some teachers at WHS think banning TikTok is not a bad thing, many students don't want to see it go away.
Sage Sheepstra and Tenaway are both sophomores at WHS that use TikTok daily. Sage shares the effects that might happen because of the TikTok ban.
The ban of TikTok would probably affect people in a negative way because I like to use Instagram and TikTok and all those social media platforms, and taking one away would I don't know how I would spend my time. Before bed, I'm always on TikTok for an hour. But at the same time, it kind of get me to bed earlier and I won't be so tired at school all the time, so maybe it would be a good thing. I'm not sure.
Tenaway explains why she thinks the ban may have a negative effect on teenagers.
There's some people spout nonsense and hate, so I wish they did more about that instead of banning the whole thing.
Tenaway also describes her concerns about banning the entire app.
It wouldn't affect me as much, but some people around our ages like to use TikTok as a coping mechanism to for like stress and things, so it could cause harm that way.
Clearly, the teachers and students at WHS have many positive and negative emotions when it comes to banning TikTok. We will continue following this story to find out what the government decides to do. This has been Ruby for Trojan News.
Yeah, that's it. I can't believe they're thinking about banning TikTok. I can't even. There are currently conversations amongst the city council and local skaters about getting a new skate park. Here's Alan Lopez with the scoop.
Skating, there will always be space to do it, but most of them are likely not safe. A skate park is often the best place to skate because it is one of the safest areas for skaters. There are conversations happening about Worthington either making a new skate park or revamping the old one.
Last summer, Eric Rivera, a current employee for the club, organized the August skate event. Last summer, Eric Rivera, a current employee for the club, organized the August skate event. This event got the attention of Walter Pertz, the executive director of Let's Skate. Pertz and Rivera started a conversation about making a new skate park in Worthington. Since then, Pertz helped Sioux Falls get a new $2 million skate park, but conversation with Rivera haven't ended about Worthington's need. The new park is still in the conversation stage. The new park will be most likely located near the old one, or the old one will revamp. When the new park will be here hasn't been decided yet. A regular skater and junior at the WHS, Adonis Mendez, expresses his expertise and gives insight on why there is a need for a new skate park.
Oh, for sure, because everyone wants a new park. That old park is not it. It's like too rough of ground. Hurts a lot to skate on. If you fall, you're done for. It's just over.
Saul Flores, a local skater and junior at the WHS, supports Adonis Mendez's claim, adding more explanation to why a new park would increase the safety of the current park.
It's bad. I scrape myself, man. Sometimes there's also too many people. Can barely do anything. Gotta skate at home sometimes.
Hopefully, this skater's optimism will roll down. It seems there is a lot of excitement for a potential new park. This has been Alan for Trojan News.
Oh my goodness, I'm really happy that our skaters are thrilled for a new park. Aren't you too?
Yeah, hopefully our skaters are safer there than the last skate park. Thanks for watching Trojan News. This has been Samantha
and Aaron.
Catch you next time!